Okay, so I'm working on another color rush layout. So I really like this pattern paper. Kind of busy, so I consider maybe cutting it out, using it as triangles, but I really like the paint splatter on the background. So I kind of want to keep that intact. But what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, because I like this, the smiley face paper, and that I'm almost thinking I might, so I actually kind of rip these off, rip the edges off so they kind of look a little tattered or, you know, distressed. I don't know if I'll work this piece in, so I've got this strip left over. But what I'm thinking I might do is maybe color this or trace it, and then I might just use a little bit of white. Just to kind of have that pop off. I've got one more idea. Let me see. I just now kind of thought of it. Let me see if this would look good. I'm thinking maybe doing some black, because I kind of want this to pop off the page a little bit. And I got to thinking, I think so would I rather do this without that stripe paper? Kind of do these two together. No, I kind of like the white behind it. I do like that. Okay. So maybe do this with this behind it and then this on top. So kind of layer it that way. Or maybe just leave this off entirely and then work some of these smiley faces on. Maybe that's what I'll do. And then maybe get this on too, somehow. So I think what I would do is I would probably utilize this, so split it in half and tuck part of it up here. And then the other part behind here. So maybe like that, or I could always do it across. I think I like it more vertical. So do it like that. And then do a picture here and then maybe some embellishments. So let me figure out what my picture is gonna be. So I'm gonna pause and then we'll get started here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. So I've picked out a couple pictures. Since this layout was gonna be kind of bright and vibrant and kind of lighthearted, and it had like a lot of patterns to it, I really wanted to document some kind of lighthearted, funny photographs. And so I picked out a couple pictures of my son who was stacking, they're kind of like foam stepping stones on top of our cat Boo. You can see he is finding it hilarious. She, not so much. She did tolerate it for a little bit, and then she did finally end up jumping up. But so I decided my title was going to be You Can Do It, because he was egging her on. And then you can see I've pulled in some frazzle. I've kind of ripped and layered up the pieces over there. Nothing's adhered down yet at this point. And I'm going to start pulling on some different ephemera pieces from the die cut. I did end up having to take some of the pattern paper and cut like my own elements, so you'll see some of that come in. That smiley face on the left-hand side actually might have come from one of those papers that I had die cut, because at this point I was really kind of low on my elements at this point. So I'm just playing around trying to figure out where I want everything. These arrows are cardstock stickers that came in the kit. And the cat, she really, she tolerates him pretty well, but there's days where it's like, you know, because he always wants to be kind of up in her face. He loves her. But he doesn't realize, like, listen, she needs a break. Like, you know, she needs some time away from you. And it kind of takes her, like, getting mad at him, hissing at him before, like, he'll kind of realize it. And so she actually will tolerate quite a bit from him. You know, she's a really good cat. And she's a pretty good sized cat. When we got her, we actually got her for my oldest son, even though she's like more of my middle son's cat at this point. She was a tiny little thing, so she's actually grown into be a pretty big cat. Those pieces that you saw me pull on, those were embellishment pieces that I had purchased separately, so that did not come with this kit. I thought maybe I could make them work, but they were a little bit lighter color, whereas, you know, a lot of this coloring in this kit is you know, more neon. And then I started pulling in some pieces from the U-Rock kit. So that was an older Color Rush Studio kit. So this Be Bold was from the U-Rock acrylic set. I don't know if that's still available. I thought it was. I don't know that the U-Rock kit is, but you can go to I'll include the information down below, and you can go to the Color Rush website, and they've got like kits. You can buy separate embellishments. So that's kind of what some of this I'm pulling on from, like, either older kits or separate embellishments that I purchased. But I kind of decided in the end, I kind of liked what I was doing originally with the layout. So I did end up pulling all those pieces off. So. And I think what I was doing here was going through some of my older embellishments just to see if I could get them to work. This came in the kit, so the star and the moon. I really think I'm going to hoard those for a minute because I think I would rather use them for like some kind of layout with the kids sleeping or, you know, nighttime layout. So I'm going to probably put those away and hoard those for a little bit. I wanted to get quite a few smiley faces put on this just because he was happy and smiling and thought this was hilarious. So. And so at this point, I'm just fussing around trying to pull on different pieces to see visually where I like it. I didn't want to add too much to this because the papers alone were going to be kind of a lot. But I definitely wanted something over to the left-hand side of, you know, because I felt like then it was like looking a little blank over there. So I ended up fussy cutting these stars out of star paper. So you got 2 sheets of the star paper. So just to stretch my kit a little bit more, I was kind of tapping into that 1 star paper to fussy cut the stars out. I think that's what I'm doing, is either cutting out a smiley face or a star paper. This is a leftover strip from the smiley face paper. And actually, I will flip that over and use the back side of it, so you'll see that when I finish and have everything adhered down. The other side of it was, it was kind of like a checkerboard paper with like kind of paint dripping down it. So it actually is the part of like the paint dripping down. And at this point, I was just trying to use up some scraps, some extra, you know, pieces that were kind of going to be floating around, and trying to really hard to kill the kit, because I never kill a kit, and so I feel somewhat accomplished if I've killed almost the whole kit. And really, I've had such a blast like with this kit. I've gotten so much inspiration out of it. I think by the time all is said and done, I'll have 7 to 8 layouts done with it. So, and here is the finished product. I had added another strip of that smiley face paper over to the left-hand side, just to kind of make, you know, to bookend the, I don't know what to call that geometric paper, but just to kind of bookend it. And here are a few close-up shots. I'll include the information for Color Rush down below. And I really appreciate you for coming by to watch another process video.